Hey, it's Smokin' Dave. You're listening to a man who has more hair on his eyebrows than he does on the top of his head.
Hey,
It's the Kevin Friedman Show.
it's Friday, March 16th, and it's time for another SportsGossip.com podcast. I've got 10 stories for you off the SportsGossip.com website, and I'm here with my announcer, Dave, who's got the sweetest voice in the business.
Thank you.
Dave, you were telling us last time you used to sing in a barbershop quartet?
Sure did.
You gotta expand on this one. When was this?
Well, it was 1990 and I was living in England. We were the hottest barbershop quartet in town. I could get any woman I wanted.
You gotta give us a verse or two from your barbershop quartet days, please.
Sweet Adeline, my Adeline.
Wow, you still got it, Dave. You still got it. Give us that first story.
Aaron Rodgers likes a tweet taking a shot at Jimmy Graham and praising Jordy Nelson.
NFL free agency is kicking into high gear, and arguably one of the biggest moves made so far was by the Green Bay Packers. They released 32-year-old Jordy Nelson, and they plan to replace him with 31-year-old tight end Jimmy Graham. Nelson, who makes over $9 million, was asked to take an $8 million pay cut, and at the same time, they're giving Jimmy Graham a 3-year, $30 million deal. As a Bears fan, I love this. Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers clearly had something special together. They had 65 touchdowns combined in their 9 seasons together. Jimmy Graham is a great red zone target, but that's about all he is. He can't block, and his numbers have gone down consistently year after year since he left New Orleans. Now, the NFL Network's Rich Eisen put out a tweet criticizing this move, and Aaron Rodgers favorited that tweet, so obviously Rodgers isn't a fan of the move either. The Packers already got rid of the quarterback's coach without consulting Rodgers, and now they got rid of his favorite receiver. Rodgers is an unrestricted free agent after the 2019 season, and while I never thought he would leave Green Bay, if the Packers making moves like this, I wouldn't be shocked if he entertained the idea. And as a Bears fan, I love it. I've been watching Green Bay quarterbacks dominate us since 1992. That's 26 straight years. Now let me double check my math here. Yeah, 26 years. Packers, please keep doing things to upset the best player in the league because I would love nothing more than to see him on another team. What's next, Dave?
Martellus Bennett criticizes fans in Twitter rant.
The tight end was released by the Patriots last week, and then he went on Twitter and read his mentions where he said he was being ridiculed. Bennett responded with a series of tweets saying he shouldn't be subject to ridicule and you should show him empathy. And while any sane person would agree with him, the Twitterverse is not filled with sane people. There's a very simple solution for this, Martellus. Don't use Twitter. If you're an athlete and you're using Twitter to do anything other than promote a product, then you're out of your mind. There's no good that could come with you giving any type of opinion on Twitter for no reason. And if you're going to use Twitter, don't check your mentions. You think people are nice on Twitter? I mean, come on, get a clue. People use Twitter to be mean. It's sad, but it's true. Bennett has had a 10-year career and has made $34 million in that 10-year career. You know what? For $34 million, you should take all the ridicule that anyone could give you. I'll go out every Sunday and let the whole stadium just ridicule me for 3 hours. I don't care. You pay me $34 million. They could sit there throw beer on me for 3 hours. I'll do it with a smile on my face. Again, everything Martellus Bennett said in that tweet is true, and he shouldn't be ridiculed. But come on, if you're going to open yourself to ridicule, then you have to expect it. And you know what? When it comes, you ignore it. You take your $34 million and you ignore it. Dave, would you take a little ridicule for $34 million?
Ha! Ridicule? For $34 million, you could take a sharp knife and cut my balls off Game of Thrones style, baby.
All right, well, if any of our listeners have $34 million and want to do that, call in and we'll get you Dave's number.
I'd do it, no joke.
I'll let you know if someone calls in. In the meantime, why don't you give us the next story?
This one is a SportsGossip.com exclusive. Cam Newton and girlfriend pregnant with baby number 3.
One of our inside sources tipped us off on this one. He wanted SportsGossip.com to be the first to know that Cam and his girlfriend Kia Proctor are pregnant with their third child on the way. He also sent us a picture of the pregnant Kia, which you can check out exclusively on SportsGossip.com, along with some other pictures of the beautiful family. Cam and Kia already have a son and daughter, so this will be baby number 3. Cam also has a daughter from a previous marriage. There's pictures of the family up on the website. As I said, they look fantastic. Congrats to Cam and the whole family. My only problem with Cam, I love the guy. I think he's a great player, great person. He's fun to listen to, fun to watch being interviewed. My only problem with him, he dresses like the biggest weirdo I've ever seen. He dresses like he's got a second job as a pimp after the game. I don't get it, but Cam's a great guy. He can dress however he wants. Those hats especially, I mean, I wouldn't be caught dead in those hats, and I don't even have any hair. I'd rather go bald than have that hat on. Anyways, congrats to Cam. You can check out the exclusive story and pictures on sportsgossip.com. And let's go to the next story.
Matt Forte being low-key savage again.
I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with the term low-key savage, but the headline should be Matt Forte is making sense again. Forte went on Facebook to react to the Sam Bradford signing. Bradford signed a 1-year deal with the Arizona Cardinals, getting paid $20 million, 15 of it guaranteed. Sam Bradford's been in the league for 8 years. 8 unproductive, shitty years. And you know how much money he's made? $114 million. Now compare that to Matt Forte, who was an all-time Bears running back. Played 10 years in the league, made $44 million. I see his point. I mean, Mike Glennon alone last year made $16 million to play in 3 games, to stink in 3 games, and then sit on the bench. It's mind-blowing. And what's crazy is it's not going to change, whether Forte or anybody complains about it. That's just how it is in the NFL, and you got to deal with it. Smokin' Dave, name your all-time top 4 Chicago Bears running backs.
Walter Payton, Gale Sayers, Matt Forte, Bronco Nagurski. You know, I played against Nagurski in high school.
You played against Bronco Nagurski in high school. How old are you, Dave?
Age is just a number. The key to healthy living is unfiltered cigarettes and loose women.
If there's any kids listening, please disregard what Dave just said.
What do you mean? These are good tips.
Please, Dave, let's go to the next story.
The Lakers recruit The Rock to get them fired up.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson stopped by the Lakers locker room the other night before their game with the Nuggets. You could check out the pictures on sportsgossip.com. Now, I like The Rock. Everybody likes The Rock. So I went to The Rock's IMDb page, and it kind of made me question, why do people like The Rock? He's never been in a good movie. He's never even been in a decent movie. Believe it or not, The Rock has been in 42 movies, and I cannot find one that's even decent. If you could find me one movie that The Rock was in that's decent, I will give you a free sportsgossip.com t-shirt. That's how confident I am you can't do it. They even gave him a show on HBO, and that was terrible. On HBO, it's hard to make a bad show on HBO. But he did it. Yet I still like him. And obviously so does everybody else, because he keeps getting movie jobs and he makes a ton of money. Now I'm too lazy to check out the box office numbers. He must be making some kind of money, but his movies are horrible. I guess I'm impressed that he can make that much money making all these bad movies. You know, people tell me I look like The Rock, Dave.
I can see it.
Yeah, we both got the shaved head. You know, he's a tiny bit more muscular than I am, but, you know, I got the better face. I mean, I doubt he's ever won most handsome podcaster in America like me.
Didn't the Institute for the Blind give you that award?
Hey, it's not important who gave me the award. An award's an award. Yeah, there's a picture of me on the cover of the podcast. You guys can all check it out and see how I look exactly like The Rock, although slightly more handsome. Anyways, if The Rock's giving tips to the Lakers on how to make a bad movie, they should listen. If he's giving them tips on how to play basketball, they shouldn't. All right, we got to take a break. We got another new sponsor on the show, so we'll take a short one and we'll be back right after this.
Are you tired of watching free porn on the internet? So am I. And that's why I opened Smokin' Dave's Adult Bookstore. 69 locations worldwide. And of course, you can count on Smokin' Dave's signature private grandma porn room in every location. Make sure to come see us at our newest location, the Lake County Forest Preserve. Just walk about a half-mile in, and you'll see a dark wood cabin. That's us. And remember, if the pages aren't stuck together, then you didn't buy it at Dave's.
2 things, Dave. Why didn't you tell me you were sponsoring the show? And what are you doing investing in adult bookstores?
Are you kidding me? Think about it. One day that intranet's gonna go out, and you know where everyone's gonna be? At my adult bookstores. It's genius. I'm gonna be rich. You'll see. 2 years from now, I'm gonna be an adult bookstore millionaire, and you're gonna still be doing this stupid podcast.
Yeah, well, speaking of that podcast, we got more stories, so let's get to it.
Exclusive. Kevin Durant's girlfriend sits in the wifey section.
Yes, the second best athlete in the world named Kevin has a new girlfriend. Her name is Cass Anderson, and SportsGossip.com was the first to break this news to the world. You can go on our website and check out exclusive pictures of Durant's new girlfriend sitting in the wifey section. We got this from one of our loyal tipsters, and if you want to be one of our loyal tipsters, it's as simple as going to SportsGossip.com and clicking on the link.
Hey, who's the best athlete in the world named Kevin?
Do you really need to ask? It's me.
Your name's Kevin?
This is our 5th show together. You don't even know my name?
I don't get paid to know your name. I get paid to announce.
Yeah, why don't you do your job and give us the next story?
Arizona State's loss to Syracuse gives us the first crying kid of March Madness.
ASU lost to Syracuse the other night in the first 4, and of course the producers and cameraman couldn't resist looking around, finding some poor little kid who's a fan of the losing team, and putting him on TV while he's crying. In my opinion, this is a trend that's got to stop. I mean, these are kids. So what if they're crying? Their favorite team lost. They're little kids. They're going to cry. Now, if there's an adult in the stands crying, they should be put on TV. If you're an adult and you're crying about a college basketball game, you got mental problems. The only way I can accept you crying after a loss in a college basketball game is if you bet tons of money on the game and lost. If you're just a fan of the team and you're crying because they lost and you're over the age of 15, then you definitely deserve to be put on TV and ridiculed for the rest of your days. What's next?
The Chicago Bulls aren't doing a very good job of pretending not to tank.
Well, they did a good job of it last night as they beat the Memphis Grizzlies 111-110. The Bulls are currently 24-44 and 4-6 in their last 10 games. The NBA supposedly warned the Bulls lately they could be penalized in the future if they sit healthy players. If you ask me, the Bulls are not doing a good enough job tanking. I mean, they're 4-6 in their last 10. I'm a Bulls fan. I wish they were 0-10 in their last 10. There's 8 other teams in the NBA with worse records than the Bulls, and they're not getting threatened by the NBA. There's a proven formula in the NBA if you want to turn your team around, and that's build through the draft. How do you build through the draft? You get a good draft pick. How do you get a good draft pick? You lose games. If your team stinks and has no shot to make the playoffs, why would you want them to win these meaningless games? The NBA roster has 12 men. The coach can decide who of those 12 is going to play. It's as simple as that. The NBA should keep their noses out of it. If you're an intelligent Bulls fan, you hope they don't win a game the rest of the year. Hell, if I'm the Bulls, I'm calling myself and Smokin' Dave and giving us 10-day contracts. Smokin' Dave, what do you think? You want to play in the NBA?
Well, 47 years of smoking unfiltered cigarettes hasn't left me with too much stamina. But for those first 30 seconds of the game, I would be dominant.
I bet you would. Give us the next story.
Colin Kaepernick has private 90-minute throwing workout in Houston area.
I watched some of this video, and Kaepernick does look good, but let's be honest, it's pointless. If an NFL team wanted Kaepernick, they would have got him last year. I mean, he is better than 50% of the quarterbacks in the league right now. He's being blackballed, and that's all there is to it. If he wants to keep playing football, sadly, it looks like it's going to be for the XFL.
You think Kaepernick can even get a helmet over that big afro?
That's a good question. He does have one of the biggest afros I've ever seen, but I'm sure he'd figure out a way. What's the last story, Dave?
Clay Matthews surprise renovation for brother and sister-in-law.
Yes, Matthews surprised his brother and sister-in-law just days after they gave birth to twin boys. You can check out a video of this renovation and see the before and after pictures at sportsgossip.com. Clay Matthews seems like a hell of a brother. In related news, I heard Peyton and Eli Manning each gave their brother Cooper a $50 gift certificate to Best Buy. And that'll wrap things up for episode 5 of the sportsgossip.com podcast. I want to thank my announcer, Smokin' Dave. And thank you for listening. You can check out these stories and much more if you go to sportsgossip.com. My name is Kevin Friedman, and we will see you next time.